Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at a labor market that has, frankly, fundamentally transformed over the last few years. Today, we're breaking down the latest 2026 data, pulling insights directly from the Indeed Hiring Lab and LinkedIn to map out exactly what this shifting landscape means for your hiring strategies and your career. So whether you're an executive, a hiring manager, or just someone trying to navigate your own career right now, this is the deep dive you need. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start by grounding ourselves with a number that really sets the stage, -0.4%. This is a pretty striking data point from the Q2 2026 Employment Cost Index. For the first time since back in 2022, real annual wage growth actually dropped into the negative. Basically, that means a drop in purchasing power for workers. So that wild, hyper-competitive wage growth we saw in those immediate post-pandemic years, yeah, it's officially cooling off. We're shifting away from that desperate scramble for every available worker into a completely different environment.
And that cooling has a direct impact at the very highest levels of economic decision-making. As the Indeed Hiring Lab points out, the FOMC is now prioritizing inflation over the labor market. Why? Because after years of absolute chaos, the labor market is finally stabilizing. It's kind of playing second fiddle to inflation now. We aren't in crisis mode regarding jobs anymore. We are in recalibration mode. And that recalibration is forcing employers to completely rethink how they approach talent.
To help you navigate all of this, we've broken things down into 5 key megatrends. Macro trends, the AI job creation boom, AI in recruiting, building a future-ready workforce, and finally, skills-first hiring.
Trend number 1, macro trends, specifically cooling and seniority. When a chaotic market finally stabilizes, employer behavior naturally changes. They aren't just desperately trying to fill empty seats anymore. They become highly strategic about who sits in them. As the market cools down, Indeed's data shows a super fascinating shift. Hiring is tilting heavily towards seniority. Basically, employers are moving away from taking chances on junior roles and are instead really favoring experienced senior talent. Because when budgets get a little tighter and wage growth slows, companies want proven commodities. They want professionals who can walk in the door and immediately steer the ship, rather than someone who needs months of foundational training.
Moving on to trend number 2, the AI job creation boom. Now, while the broader market might be prioritizing senior talent and kind of cooling off, the AI sector is doing something else entirely. For a couple of years there, the big headline around AI was all about job destruction, right? But the 2026 data actually tells a story of widespread job creation across some pretty unexpected sectors. Look at infrastructure. We're seeing a massive boom in physical build-out roles for data centers. These foundations are being built so incredibly fast, they're practically becoming their own zip codes. Over in technology, software development roles are actually rebounding, but that rebound is driven almost entirely by senior AI-fluent candidates. But maybe the most interesting shift is in non-tech. AI isn't just a tech story anymore. AI training and instruction roles are spreading rapidly across everyday job titles. We're seeing a huge surge in coaches and corporate teachers dedicated entirely to AI upskilling.
Trend number 3, AI in the recruiting process. AI isn't just creating new jobs, it's fundamentally changing how we fill them. The old goal was all about faster workflows, but the new standard is improving the quality of hires. Here's the catch, though. Many candidates can explain a successful campaign, but because AI helps everyone write the perfect resume now, the real challenge is understanding what they actually contributed. You have to separate polished storytelling from genuine ownership, and you can do this with 2 interview questions that reveal more in 5 minutes than an hour of rehearsed answers. First, ask, what specifically did you do? You want to listen for specificity, not just confidence. A weak signal is when they say, we launched the campaign and achieved great results. It stays vague. A strong signal, I owned the paid strategy, built the reporting dashboard, and optimized campaigns weekly. See the difference? Second question, what would make you turn this work down? A weak candidate just wants to please you, saying they do any project, but a strong candidate reveals professional standards and judgment. They might say they'd walk away if success couldn't be measured or if expectations kept changing without alignment. The best interviews don't collect longer answers, they create clearer ones. Ultimately, better questions create better hiring decisions.
All right, trend number 4, building a future-ready workforce.
Finding top talent is really only half the battle. Keeping them relevant is the rest of it. Check out Visa's AI talent strategy, which LinkedIn highlighted recently. Visa didn't just buy a shiny new software license and hope for the best. They actually put AI at the very center of their talent strategy using 3 clear steps. First, peer-to-peer learning. They actively encourage employees to share their AI wins with each other. Second, role-specific AI upskilling. This is huge because a marketer needs to learn entirely different AI skills than, say, an accountant. And third, cultivating a culture of experimentation, making it totally okay to fail as long as you're learning. That is how you successfully scale AI adoption.
And Visa definitely isn't alone here. Building this kind of future-ready workforce means giving your employees true ownership over their development.
Teradata built a growth culture designed specifically to empower their teams to take ownership of AI innovation. New York Life completely unified their talent systems, and they managed to upskill an incredible 12,000 employees in AI and career coaching. They basically built a massive internal engine of innovators. And in highly technical fields, we're seeing partnerships like Hack the Box and LinkedIn Learning closing critical cybersecurity gaps. They're doing this by ditching textbook theory and moving to scenario-based, hands-on labs. The common denominator? Practical, applied learning.
Which brings us to our fifth and final trend, the skills-first hiring revolution.
All this focus on upskilling sets the stage for a massive paradigm shift. For decades, the 4-year degree requirement was honestly just a lazy proxy for competence. It was the outdated default. But today, the modern standard is the skills-first approach. LinkedIn's data makes it crystal clear. Skills are the new hiring currency. If you rely exclusively on degrees, you are literally locking out massive pools of capable candidates. A skills-first approach focuses on what a person can actually do, their true potential, their adaptability, and their proven competencies. It completely unlocks untapped talent and massively boosts inclusion across the board.
This whole shift was perfectly captured at Cannes Lions by Corinne Kimbrough and Michelle Hillman. They issued this incredibly powerful call to action: tear the paper ceiling holding workers back. That paper ceiling? It's the degree requirement. A piece of paper from a decade ago tells you almost nothing about a candidate's ability to adapt to a brand new AI tool today. Skills, continuous learning, and clear demonstrations of ownership, that is what actually drives businesses forward right now.
So, I want to leave you with a question to bring back to your own teams. Is your hiring strategy rewarding adaptability and true skills, or are you still relying on outdated pedigrees? The labor market has stabilized. AI is creating entirely new categories of work, and the businesses that win tomorrow will be the ones that hire for quality, train for the future, and value proven skills over paper ceilings. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and build that future.